Hi everybody, this is Derek from 100peaks.com. I'm at the trailhead for Boucher Hill. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that, but I think it's Boucher Hill. Relatively short hike today, around 3 miles. It was actually pretty warm today. The temperature kept rising as I drove through the Pala area and then Palomar Valley. Started out about 74. I'm like, oh, it's going to be pretty warm. And by the time I got up to here, it's 84, 85 degrees, so it's a fairly warm day. The good news is that there, once again, is a nice gentle breeze here that should cool off a little bit. And part of this hike is in the shade, so I should be hiking underneath some pines here and there, so it should be pretty comfortable. One surprise is that there are a lot of flies here, just so many flies swarming all around me that I actually had to put DEET on in order to be comfortable on this trail. I was not expecting that, and that's one thing I always have in my hiking bag that's in the back of my car is, you know, some DEET, sunscreen, extra water, extra food, you know, just a little care package there, depending on what I might need. I even have some fire starter material along with a multi-tool and a lighter. So, you know, you never know what you might need. It's always good to have that back there. In there, as well as I also have some lightweight gloves, some different layers, some different hats, just to make sure that, you know, I'm prepared. So the drive up here is pretty long, pretty windy. It is a beautiful drive. I got caught behind some motorcycle riders. There's a large group of them, probably about 12 of them, and that's a pretty common sight here on Palomar Mountain. And another common sight are road cyclists. They really like to hammer up this hill and then just coast all the way down very, very quickly. And I can't imagine doing it myself. It looks like a pretty grueling climb up to the top here. One thing that's scheduled to happen pretty soon is this state park, Palomar Mountain State Park, is scheduled to be closed. They're going to be starting some closure around September 2011, which is in a couple months, and then with a full closure about a year later in 2012, July 2012. So how this affects the access to Boucher Hill, which is one of the San Diego Sierra Club sections, 100 Peaks, and it's also, I believe, the Angeles Sierra Club's 100 Peaks section peak. So whether or not that will be off limits and will have to be taken off both lists remains to be decided. I'm going to do a little bit of research and see what the state park has to do with that. And one misconception about this state park is that it covers the whole mountain. However, most of this mountain is actually Cleveland National Forest, and the Palomar Mountain State Park is just a small little portion of that. So it's only the small portion of it is going to be closed. However, in there you have several campgrounds, including Dome Pond, a great fishing spot for young children because the trout is stocked regularly, and then there are a lot of picnicking areas that are great, a lot of good hiking trails, a lot of great family camping around here. So that is going to be closing, or is scheduled to be closing. What's not going to be closing is the observatory, as well as Barker Valley. And Barker Valley is on the northern side of the mountain, and that is in Cleveland National Forest, from what I understand. So most of the mountain is not going to close. It's just going to be the state park within here, but it is a beautiful state park, and as you can see behind me, just at this picnic spot, we have great views of the surrounding area. So I'm going to pack up and get on this trail and see what I see. I hope you come along. Here I am at the top of Boucher Hill. It looks a little different than when I was here last time. There's construction going on. They are renovating the lookout tower that stands just right next to me. On top of the hill there is a little platform with benches you can sit on, and ultimately a great view of the valley to the west of us. So I'm going to give you a little pan. One of the other nice things about this lookout is they have these informative panels here, which tells you what you're looking at. So I guess that was Santiago Peak to the north there, which is in Orange County, also known as Saddleback. There's another information panel right here, which talks about the different towers through time. The first was built in 1921, the second was built in 1934, and they are currently renovating it now. This panel talks about the life of somebody who lives in a lookout tower. You get an awesome view, you make yourself at home, but it probably could get lonely up here. And there's a great picture of here with a completely frozen tower. It looks like high winds and low temperatures cause that to really ice over. So you can kind of imagine living up here. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm sure in the winter the views are a lot better than we have today, but even so, in the summer today, it is absolutely gorgeous. We can see all over into Ramona. Looks beautiful over there. Through Palma Valley, north through Temecula even, or Lake Elsinore area. It is quite a view, and you can see why they would put a lookout tower up here, because you can see for miles and miles and miles. So here's the viewing platform. Has a nice Trex bottom with some wood benches, and as we pan around here we can see the rest of the Palomar Mountains. And like I said before, most of this is in Cleveland National Forest. There are still some private inholdings. Not sure if that mountain is way up there, but as we look down here, we can look down into Palma Valley. A lot of citrus down there, a lot of nurseries, and into Valley Center. And also looks like there's a sort of a brown haze hovering over everything, and I'm wondering if that's a residual effect of the Arizona wildfires that are happening right now in the southwest. And down below we can also see Paula Casino. You can see that on the way in. Actually, that's Rincon. I'm sorry, that's Rincon. Paula's down elsewhere, and we get to the tower here. And from what I understand, a lot of the antenna equipment is going to be relocated. But here's the tower with scaffolding. It's being renovated. And then we have another building built over there, some kind of brick structure that will probably house some equipment. And then you can see some construction stuff. So an excellent view of the area. And the only issue with today is these flies. I've never seen flies so thick. And it's just a byproduct of the very wet spring we had, where we had a lot of rain. When you have a lot of rain, you have a lot of flies and mosquitoes. So I'm going to enjoy a little bit up here. I'm not going to stay too long because I don't want to get eaten alive by the flies, even though the DEET probably is helping. But I'm going to be taking an alternative trail down, so a big loop. And so I'm going to get a snack and get a little drink and continue on.